Have you ever stood up from a chair and felt like it took just a little more effort than you remember? Or noticed that a jar lid you once twisted off without thinking now puts up a fight? Maybe climbing a few stairs leaves you more winded than it used to. It's easy to brush these things off. It's easy to say, oh, well, that's just part of getting older. But what if I told you that these small changes, these quiet little struggles could actually be early warning signs that your muscles are slipping away faster than they should? And here's the thing, by the time we notice it, the process has often been happening silently in the background for years. Today, we're going to talk about those silent signs, the subtle little changes that too many people ignore until it's too late. But knowing them now means you have the power to do something about it before it robs you of your strength, your independence, and your confidence. Before we dive into it, if you care about protecting your body and living fully at every stage of life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. And if any part of what we talk about today feels familiar, even hits a little close to home, leave a comment and share your story. You're not alone. We're building a community of people who believe that getting older doesn't have to mean getting weaker. It just means getting wiser about how we take care of ourselves. All right, let's have an honest conversation today. Not the sugar-coated version, but the real heart-to-heart kind. Because the truth is, muscle loss doesn't just arrive one day with a big dramatic entrance. It tiptoes in. It hides behind everyday struggles. It whispers to you when you think you're just having a tired day. One of the first signs most people miss is something so ordinary that it slips right under the radar. Feeling slower getting out of a chair or a bed. Maybe you notice it takes a little rock forward. Maybe you need to push with your hands where before you just stood up easily. Maybe you pause for a second longer before you move because it feels like your body needs to think about it first. That little hesitation is your muscles waving a tiny red flag. Standing up is a basic movement. It's something we do dozens of times a day without thinking about it until it starts getting harder. And the scary part is, once it gets harder, most people start unconsciously avoiding it. They sit longer, they move less, and the muscles weaken even faster. It becomes a quiet downward spiral. But here's the good news. The earlier you notice it, the easier it is to fix. Strength is not something you either have or don't have. It's something you build. And rebuilding starts with something as simple as practicing standing up and sitting down with intention. Slow, steady movements that remind your muscles they're still needed, still alive, still capable. Another sign that often goes unnoticed is a decrease in grip strength. I know it doesn't sound very dramatic, but think about how much of your life depends on your hands. Opening a jar, carrying a grocery bag, turning a doorknob, even steadying yourself with a rail in your hands are your connection to the world. When muscles start to weaken, the hands often tell the story first. Maybe you notice a coffee mug feels heavier than it used to, or your handwriting looks shakier. Or you need two hands to carry something that used to be a one-handed job. These aren't just inconveniences, they're clues. Your body is whispering, hey, something's changing. Pay attention. And here's something even more important. Grip strength isn't just about your hands. Studies have shown that lower grip strength is linked to overall body strength and even predicts how well someone will be able to stay independent as they age. So when you strengthen your hands, you're not just helping yourself open pickle jars. You're sending a message to your entire body. Stay strong. A simple way to start, keep a soft ball or a hand gripper near your favorite chair. While you're watching television, gently squeeze and release it a few times each commercial break. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be consistent. Your body listens to what you do every day, not what you do once in a while. Now, there's another sign that catches many people off guard. Feeling unsteady when walking on uneven ground. Maybe the sidewalk isn't perfectly flat. Maybe it's a patch of grass or gravel. And suddenly you find yourself hesitating, looking down, feeling a little uncertain about your footing. That slight wobble or loss of confidence isn't just nerves. It's often a sign that the small stabilizing muscles around your hips, knees, and ankles are starting to weaken. Balance is one of those things we take for granted until we don't have it. It's invisible until it's gone. And losing balance doesn't just mean you move slower. It means your risk of falling skyrockets. And as we know, falls are one of the biggest dangers for seniors, not just because of injuries, but because of how much independence can be lost afterward. The beautiful thing is, balance can be trained. It can be rebuilt, just like strength. Gentle exercises like standing on one foot while holding onto the back of a chair or walking heel to toe across a hallway can spark those tiny muscles back to life. Your body is waiting for you to ask it to engage again. It's just been sitting quietly, wondering if you still need it. Maybe you're thinking right now, this sounds like me. Or maybe you're not sure. Maybe you're somewhere in between, still active, still moving, but with a little whisper of doubt starting to creep in. If that's the case, let me say this clearly. Noticing these signs is not a failure. It's not something to feel bad about. It's a wake-up call. And answering that call is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself. You deserve to feel strong when you wake up in the morning. You deserve to trust your body when you move. You deserve to feel the quiet, steady pride that comes from knowing you're doing everything you can to stay vital, independent, and alive. And it starts with awareness. It starts with noticing the small things before they become big things. It starts with tiny, everyday choices that add up to a stronger, steadier you. Now that we've talked about some of the earliest silent signs, the way your body whispers before it shouts, let's keep going. Because there are a few more signals you absolutely need to know, and they might just surprise you. Maybe you've been feeling it for a while now. That quiet heaviness in your legs after just a short walk. You tell yourself it's nothing, maybe just the weather, or maybe you're just tired today. But when you start paying closer attention, you realize it's not just a bad day. It's happening more often than it used to. That steady, dragging feeling isn't normal. It's another silent sign. Your muscles are losing strength faster than they should. When your muscles weaken, especially in your legs, it doesn't feel like pain right away. It feels like resistance, like gravity got just a little stronger overnight. Everyday tasks that used to be automatic now require a tiny bit more effort. At first, you adjust. You take the elevator instead of the stairs. You sit a little longer before standing up. You walk a little slower. But without realizing it, you start shrinking your world to match your energy. And that's exactly what we want to avoid. Movement should feel freeing, not burdensome. Your legs are meant to carry you where you want to go, not hold you back from it. And when you start noticing that heaviness, that slow erosion of energy, it's time to act not with fear, but with determination. One of the most powerful things you can do to fight that creeping heaviness is to simply keep moving, but in a way that's intentional. Short walks every day, even around your living room if needed, remind your muscles that they still have work to do. Simple exercises like rising up on your toes or sitting down and standing up several times from a sturdy chair can start waking your strength back up, one small effort at a time. Another silent sign that catches so many people off guard is unexpected fatigue knot, the kind that comes after a big day or a long afternoon outside, but the kind that seems to settle in for no clear reason. Maybe you slept well. Maybe you didn't do anything strenuous. And yet, you find yourself needing to sit down more, nap more, recover from activities that never used to tire you out. Muscle loss isn't just about what you can lift or how fast you can walk. Your muscles are deeply tied to your energy levels. When you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down. Your body has to work harder to do the same tasks it once did easily. It's like carrying an invisible weight all day long, and eventually it wears you down. The scariest part is how easy it is to blame yourself, to say, I'm just getting lazy, or I guess I'm not motivated anymore. But that's not it. Your body isn't betraying you. It's asking for help. One of the simplest ways to begin turning that fatigue around is to combine small, consistent movements with better nutrition. Muscle needs fuel protein, of course, but also the right vitamins and minerals to rebuild and recover. If you're feeling tired all the time, it might not be because you're doing too much. It might be because your muscles are quietly fading and they need your attention. Adding a little more protein throughout your day can make a world of difference. Instead of skipping breakfast or reaching for toast, try adding a hard-boiled egg, a spoonful of peanut butter, or some Greek yogurt. Give your body something solid to work with. Treat every meal like an opportunity to say, I'm still investing in my strength. I want to tell you about Martha. She's 76, full of life, and fiercely independent. But about a year ago, she started feeling exhausted all the time. She thought maybe she was depressed. Maybe it was just getting old. But after a simple checkup, her doctor told her she was suffering from sarcopenia-related muscle loss. Not illness, not laziness. Just a body that needed more support. She made 2 small changes. She started doing seated leg lifts while she watched her favorite evening shows, and she added an extra serving of protein to each meal. Today, she walks her dog twice a day without needing to stop and rest every block. She laughs when she tells her story because it wasn't about doing more. It was about doing what mattered. And maybe that's what I want to leave with you right now. You don't need to do everything. You don't need to overhaul your whole life. You just need to start noticing. Start choosing the little things that add up to big changes. Notice the way your body moves through the world. Notice how it feels to get out of a chair, to open a jar, to walk across a room. If anything feels harder than it should, don't ignore it. Don't accept it as just age. See it as a conversation your body is trying to have with you. A conversation that says, help me stay strong. Now that we've opened our eyes to some of these early whispers, the slowed standing, the slipping grip, the cautious steps on uneven ground, the heavy legs, the creeping fatigue, there's still one more silent signal you need to know about. And it's perhaps the most important one of all, because it affects not just your body, but your spirit too. There's one more sign that often goes completely unnoticed until one day, it's not just a sign anymore, it's a reality. And that's the quiet withdrawal from doing things you used to love. You might stop going on that afternoon walk you used to enjoy. You pass on the invitation to a weekend outing because it just feels like too much. You tell yourself you're just tired, or maybe not in the mood, or maybe it's the weather. But deep down, you know there's something else. You don't feel as confident in your body. And that subtle retreat from your old routine, that's a signal too. This isn't just physical, it's emotional. It's what happens when we start to lose trust in our own strength. When we begin to question if we can keep up, or worry that we might fall, or wonder if our energy will last through the day. And so, slowly, quietly, we shrink our world. This is what muscle loss does not just to our bodies, but to our lives. It makes us second guess our freedom. And the moment you begin saying no to things you used to say yes, to no because you don't want to, but because you're not sure your body will cooperate, that's when the loss becomes real. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Because here's the truth. The muscle you lost can be rebuilt. The confidence you've been missing can return. The yes you stopped saying can come back louder and stronger than before. And it doesn't require anything extreme. It just requires noticing the signs and choosing to do something about them. Maybe today that something is as simple as standing a little taller when you walk, or choosing a protein-rich breakfast, or taking 5 minutes to move your legs with purpose. Maybe it's deciding to start believing that this isn't the end of your strength, it's the beginning of a new way of building it. I want to remind you of something. Your body is not broken. It's not too late. You are not too old. And your story is far from over. Muscle loss might be silent, but your response doesn't have to be. You can speak back to it, one small action at a time. Every time you move with intention, you're telling your body, I still need you. I still believe in you. And here's the most beautiful part. Your body listens. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent. Because small efforts, repeated daily, become strength. Strength becomes confidence. And confidence, that brings back your freedom. So today, I invite you to make a promise to yourself not to go back in time, but to move forward, wiser and stronger than ever. You've heard the whispers, you've seen the signs, and now you know what to do with them. Let today be the day you start saying yes again. Yes to walks, yes to lifting, yes to standing taller, reaching further, and moving more freely. Yes to the strength that's still inside you, waiting to rise. If any of what we talked about today resonated with you, even just one little moment, leave a comment below. Let us know what part spoke to you the most. Tell us where you're watching from, or share something you've noticed in your own body. You never know who you might inspire just by sharing. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're here every week with simple, powerful ways to help you stay strong, independent, and full of life, no matter your age. You're not alone on this path, and you don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to keep showing up. One movement, one meal, one mindset shift at a time. Remember, small changes can lead to big transformations, and it's never too late to begin again. Here's to rediscovering your strength. Here's to feeling confident in your own body. And here's to living your best life at any age. You've got this.